So we're gonna have a couple of games tomorrow as well. But here we are today, the first game that we actually have.
Game of IEM Katowice.
That is actually
Cool.
pretty hype. It's hype. I've been really excited for this as well.
Me too.
It's-
I'm so excited to see a Protoss not win this tournament. It's crazy.
All right. We do, however, start with two tosses, as in the top left spawning as the red Protoss player. It is going to be Probe.
Okay. I have something to say here. Can I say something?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh, we should probably introduce in the bottom right the man that's gonna almost win this tournament when there's money involved. He plays a lot better. It's SOS. Oof, almost forgot my good manners of a caster. But anyway, I was so excited about criticizing pro pylon placement that I almost forgot to introduce SOS. I don't like this pylon. Do you know why?
Yes.
Because
No. You asked the question, now I get to answer it. If I had said no, then you get to explain it. But here you lost the initiative.
I was so excited for you to say no, but go ahead.
Okay, you can have it. You can have it.
Okay, well, this pylon can build a battery on the low ground, but where it can build the battery is just so far away from anything that I'm not sure it's any useful.
Exactly. Yeah. You could have perhaps built the pylon on the other side, but then it's pretty difficult to build your structures, perhaps, right? You don't have too much space maybe for the cyber core.
It's very awkward to build a cyber core. And I always theorize that the guy could technically block my cyber core with a pylon, but it never happens, so...
Yeah. It is, but it's definitely possible. So that's why it's not that popular to do it like that. But yeah, this pylon is just kind of weird. It's good on certain maps, but Lightshade definitely isn't one of those maps. What was the scout timing out of SOS? Was that a gate scout?
Gate scout, my friend. Scout
Both,
very fast.
Yeah, both players gate scouted or just SOS?
I don't remember. I was so busy looking at Probe's pylon. Oh, right, his name is Probe, so I can mix up on him. Okay, never mind. This is a bad name for casting.
Probe. SOS is Probe.
I was supposed to say Probes, and my brain just farted.
Yeah,
it's okay though. We're having a very passive game for both of them, building all over pylon in their main base. I'm a little bit sad about that, you know. I promised some fire in this game. We do see, however, 2 Stalkers from SOS and 2 Adepts from Probe, and I think I like being SOS more, on this map in particular.
Yeah, especially because the follow-up is going to be Sentry. Now, if he follows this up with a Nexus before battery... you absolutely can do this. This is almost a death sentence, no?
Yeah, it's very greedy, and on top of that, even if you build a battery immediately, I feel like the Koreans with a micro, they're just gonna drain all the energy of your battery, like just poking. And with 2 Sentries and 2 Adepts, you can't really do much of anything.
4 Sentry? So even if his extra units come out, he's still going to be struggling a little bit, I feel like.
He's current boosting the warp gate already, though.
Yeah.
And the SOS is going for like the pylon thing. I think that it's actually fine for Probe. If he warps like 2 Stalkers as soon as possible, it should be fine. Like, 4 Sentries, man. You can force field some stuff with that.
That's true. We'll see what happens here. First hallucination gets sent across the map, gets sent back immediately. Doesn't want to get cleared by these Stalkers. 2 Stalkers do get warped in here for Probe as well. That's a good micro. This is kind of what you were referring to, right? The Korean Stalker control is just it's just so insanely good, and lots of damage already being dealt here.
Yeah, Probe needed to hug his battery and only force field at the right moment. Now that he doesn't have any force field, this Stalker force is very scary. There's already no energy on the battery. We have to use the nuclear battery very early on. We didn't lose any Stalkers. We didn't even lose any health, really. Like, SOS can just chill, go again, and it is very spooky for Probe.
Yeah, Probe does have a Probe patrolling here at the top side. So these 2 extra Adepts that are coming in right now shouldn't be able to go into the main base. Let's see if his response is fast enough. Yep, of course, battery does go down. A couple of Probes do end up getting sniped here, though. I think SOS is going to be pretty okay with this start. Honestly, I thought it would be a little scarier, and I thought that Probe might forget to build a couple of extra workers. That hasn't been the case, so I don't even really mind his position. I mean, he has the potential of scouting here with these extra hallucinations. He still has 2 Adepts. As long as these 2 SOS Adepts don't go into the main base, I think he's fine. Oh, good trade here for SOS. SOS is controlling this a lot better than Probe is, by the way.
Oh, but he did... with that micro, we don't cancel the shade. We do kill 1 sentry for these 2 adepts, but he only catch 2 more probes, man. SOS, even when he takes a L, he actually takes a W.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's playing well, but situation so far pretty freaking even actually. Forge is already finished here for Probe. Probe adding gate 3 and 4 before the 3rd Nexus.
I think he maybe saw no Forge when he got scared, which I can understand, to be completely honest. It is very weird to get no Forge, it's unconventional.
Yeah, but he's also getting a Robo already, so I much actually rather have him play 2-gate Robo and then boost an Immortal if he's really afraid. Or maybe even cut a worker here and there. The delayed Forge is very popular in Korea, by the way. They like going into either fast 4 gates. I've seen even Parting go into a lot of fast 6-gate stuff. And then try to push with that, with like a 4 or 5 Stalker advantage. On a map like Lightshade, where it can be tricky to defend that middle ramp, you know, because there's no battery usually there.
Yeah. What you're speaking about, like it. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Like, SOS army, I don't think Probe can deal with it, really.
Well, a couple of decent force fields coming out of SOS. I think a Stalker went down on the side of Probe, and now a Sentry goes down as well. 2 Stalkers of SOS almost taking the wrong ramp up. Are actually, yeah, they're not being controlled well. I don't think they can really join this army. This shouldn't be a cancel, by the way. This base needs to stay up. If this base gets cancelled, Probe is in a lot of trouble, even if he's going to be ahead in upgrade soon. 2 Stalkers from the back joining in as well right now. What are the Stalker counts? 8 against 9. And the reinforcements for SOS are a little bit further away, but yeah, they did just finish up. We now have 13 versus 8. +1, 20, 15 seconds away from finishing. And with that Observer, that's actually going to help SOS a crap ton.
Yeah, like when you have perfect information, it's very easy to micro in these battles. But the +1 is going to be done soon. Is that really such a huge deal in Stalker versus Stalkers? I'm asking you.
I mean, it helps a lot, right? It just, if you have, especially if you have close Stalker numbers, which is the case this time, and if you ever do get that Immortal out, then you really feel the difference, right? Because instead of 4-shotting, you're going to be 3-shotting Stalkers, which to me always feels super huge. Especially if the Stalker numbers aren't too high that you can also one-shot the Immortal. Good blink in here coming out of SOS. 4 Stalkers in the main, clearing a couple of workers. If you can get out of there, that's going to be kind of a big deal actually, as SOS is taking a minor Probe lead here. 59 versus 51. Still down in upgrades, but not the biggest of deals, because Probe actually did not start his +2 yet. So the only advantage that Probe truly has is now kind of being nullified as well by the fact that he didn't start his own +2.
Yeah, and it's like, Probe is just a little bit behind in every way. And it's very hard in these games, I feel like, to come back when you're behind, because you just have a bunch of gateway units and one guy will always have more. One of the ways to survive is just to camp near your battery. So that's what Probe is doing, so that's good for him, but SOS has a lot of freaking units. Oh,
SOS is going to be running into a Prism here. He's going to be able to get it for basically free. I don't think Probe can fight. Weird blink forward here and just kind of gets pushed back. Immortals here as well. 4 Stalkers from the back. Could potentially snipe the Prism. Are not going to be doing that. Now they jump in. Will be able to get the Prism, but there's so many Zealots here, Drogo.
Yeah, Weeb's blinking in, killing the Super Battery. Trying to snipe the Immortal, but the superior number of Zealots from SOS to just clean this up, to be honest.
Yeah, this is looking rough for our Australian hero. The OCE representative is getting blasted in this first game. After what I expected to be a worse early game, kind of managed to maneuver his way out of there. But once SOS truly turned up the pressure, it felt like it was getting hard real fast here for Probe, who's now chasing with a couple of workers, a bunch of Zealots. He rebuilt his Prism as he's ready for an attack, but SOS is so confident that he's thinking about taking a 4th base on the top side. He's adding extra gases. He started +2. He's like, I know that I'm really far ahead. I know that you can't kill me. Like I'm just gonna straight up engage into you here on the low ground, even though I have a cannon at home. Yeah, GG just gets called. SOS wins game number 1, and the favorite so far is doing a fantastic job.
Even if after the early game, it seems like it was kind of an even game because we had the same worker count. The truth was that SOS actually, by killing a few gates units at some probes here and here, it was like 600 resources up compared to probe. And you could really feel that when you poked at the third base, that you just had, 3 more stalkers, but that's like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
You just have less.
Yeah, you
So-
just have less stuff. And that's the tricky part about that position, because on a lot of maps, you can kind of either control a ramp with a battery close by, or the rotation from natural to third is longer for the party that is attacking, right? On Lightshade, that is absolutely not the case. It's the same on a map, for example, like Jagannatha, where that's not the case either, where these type of pushes can be really, really tricky to stop, just because of how the base layout and the ramp layout is. As I'm trying to get us into the next game. Doesn't seem to be up yet. I'm so freaking paranoid that something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, I think there was some problem with the mainstream, but now it's back up. But so don't worry, you're doing a good job, my friend.
We're already doing better than the mainstream,
already
guys, and we're
doing
new to
better.
this.
And we
Guys,
knew. First
yeah,
time.
First time here at the World Championship. Look at us go, man. It was a fun little game, though. I was not unimpressed. I really thought that Probe was gonna do much worse. I thought the first Sentry opener had no potential. It felt like if the first two Stalkers of SOS stay on Probe side of the map, though, you're gonna get that kiting movement earlier, and you're gonna drain that shield battery faster, right? So,
To be honest, one thing that often happens, because I'm quite a fan of the 2 Adept 2 Sentry opening, is that really often you're just gonna be across the map with the 2 Adepts because you want to scout stuff. And I'm fairly certain that Probe went back home very quickly with his 2 Adepts, so he didn't really have any info, but at the very least, he always had a decent amount of units that it's more annoying to kite, so you can't really do it as much because you have to micro behind it. So
right,
you can
yeah.
get maximum abuse. When it's like 2 sentries, you have free reign to just attack, move, and do something else, then come back. It's not like the sentries are suddenly gonna nuke your Stalker. And you just
Yeah, the sentries take a very long time taking out a Stalker. Especially, even if there's no battery there, it's gonna take years. All right. Well, they have their own player tags in the lobby. That's so cool. Does everyone have their own player tag? Yeah. The player logo index. Man, this is a great mod as well. I also have the battle report. I forgot to use it last game. I'm sorry for that, guys.
Battle report.
Yeah. I also didn't use the minimap once.
Oh, I mean, there wasn't much to watch in the minimap.
It's okay. I feel like if you have a new feature, you need to kind of abuse it to death, the moment you have it, so you kind of can get used to it.
True.
So we'll see if we can fit it in somewhere here in this game. Second map is going to be Death Aura. Now, does Probe have something prepared on? If there's going to be something cheeky, it's gonna have to happen on Death Aura, right? This is a map for the underdog.
Yeah, the only thing I'm wondering is, your SOS, you can probably cannon rush any Protoss in this tournament and win on this map. But then you do it against Probe. For some reason I would be scared, I'd be scared the guy Sim cities around the cannon rush spot or some dumb shit like that. I would be so scared. So I think SOS is gonna play normal. It would seem crazy to me to do something else. And I don't think Probe is a big cannon rush guy, so probably nothing that's all. But it's always scary, This map is always so scary.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. All right, here we go again in this this beautiful game. Game number 1, game number 2 here between SOS and Probe. Top left is going to be Probe and bottom right is going to be SOS. I'm not gonna do it every single game, Drogo. We have more important things to talk about.
Yes.
For example,
Pylon scout alert. Pylon scout alert.
That's very fast. This could be indicative of a forge. It could also be indicative of him just being extremely afraid of Probe doing something cheeky. He's like, all right, after that last game, there's not going to be any way that you're going to beat me in a macro game, so I'm going to pylon scout you and ensure that you can't cannon rush me. He might even fake a cannon rush himself. I mean...
Yeah, but you might as well, honestly. If you scout this early, might as well just build a pylon. Especially because Probe, they've just died to a cannon rush here. You're supposed to have a Probe right now, in my opinion. Otherwise, you should just lose the game. Okay, well, it's not happening. And now he has a Probe. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen. We haven't patrolling, but buddy, if it was happening, it would have happened already.
Yeah. The timing that I like to keep is 56, 57.
Stop the pretending, SOS. We all know. I think this only work because you're SOS.
Nah, probe doesn't give a crap. He has double gases. He might be pulling a second probe, but this is cheaper. Now, don't forget, one probe not mining every second is about a single mineral. Cancelling a pylon costs about 25 minerals. So you can pull a second worker for 25 seconds, and it will still be worth it. That's always kind of how you do the defensive math when you do against the cannon rushes.
I did not know that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I used to always feel bad. Like even pulling 2 workers for like 10 or 12 seconds is completely fine against a fake because you're still going to be up. And don't forget that SOS also scouted earlier. So he's actually going to be, or well, he should be down a little bit in overall minerals, overall income. You see that for whatever reason, Probe Cybercore actually was 3-4 seconds delayed. I'm not quite sure why that was, but probably just because he built it too slow.
Also, I don't really like SOS follow-up, but it's gonna be really good this game because probably just not scouting anything.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I was like, huh, what is this? And then I checked back. I only see a single stalker. Like, why is he not getting a second one? Apparently he only built a single gate. So the reason why this isn't very popular is because you don't have any map control whatsoever. And especially if you have all the pylons in your main base, your tech will just kind of get scouted, or you need to delay it as much as you would have to with a 2-gate. So then you're just basically giving up map control for no real reason.
Yeah, also, you can very easily die when you do this.
Oh,
As a fan of more aggressive stuff myself, when I see this, I'm just so happy. There's even a really funny variation where you can actually go 4 adepts against this, and for some reason you have so little gateway in it, you actually kind of have to keep the Oracle at home. But just making a bunch of Stalkers is very good. But Probe is not gonna do that. He just went 2 Stalkers, then Nexus, then Oracle. But the Probe of SOS sees this. We still go for an Oracle, which I think is the correct call. But Phoenix follow-up, I'm also a fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a single... You know what I always find the problem with Phoenixes? Is if you don't actually clear the Oracle, it feels so awkward to ever move out with it. Also, a single Phoenix isn't enough to really deal with an Oracle, so you'll still need to get your batteries anyway. So
I agree with you, but there's a thing here that changed compared to normal, is that SOS only has 1 gate. So I think if, for example, you play against 4 Stalkers Oracle, you kind of need a unit that can actually fight in the Stargate. Otherwise, it should be very hollow. Oracle of SOS killed some stuff. Sorry about that. I missed it. All right, the observer. You are.
Yeah, I also missed that.
Oh.
Okay, this is extremely bad for Probe. Okay, this is extremely bad for Probe.
Oof. Oy. Oh, look at this from SOS. Robo and 2 more gases at the same time. That just... Ooh, when you can macro like that, you know you don't have a care in the world. What the hell?
Yeah, this is really, really old school, by the way, the Forge Robo stuff. I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if we see continued Phoenix production, because this style is not great if you want to be going into Blink, then you want to get less gas and faster third base. But if you're playing something like Phoenix, something that people don't tend to realize is that Phoenix should count as economy when you look at the state of a game, because whenever your opponent moves out and you have 5 Phoenixes, you're just going to automatically be able to kill 6-7 workers for free and then go back home. So there's always some potential damage in them, you know, unless you fly into 25 Blink Stalkers. That's not going to be the case. So that's why very often when people play Phoenixes, you can see a delayed third base. But Probe is just getting completely blasted here, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The Oracle comes in again. There's really no hope for Probe. Like, I don't like to call games too early, but even if the situation was reversed here and Probe was the one this far ahead, I would see almost no hope for SOS, even though SOS, in my mind, is a lot more solid going into a mid or even late game.
Yeah, like, this is the kind of game that happens to you when you ever played StarCraft for like a week, and you're like, I'll play some StarCraft 2 again. What's the worst that can happen? And then this game happened, where just everything goes wrong. The Oracle kills a lot of workers, and then it snowballs, you know, because it gets harder to defend the next 3 Phoenixes, then it gets harder to defend the next 5 Phoenixes. And slowly, brutally, you're in this unwinnable situation, but you technically don't leave because you still have stuff.
Yeah, the worst thing is that SOS can't even really kill him right now because he only has harassment units, right? So both of them are kind of sitting knowing that the game is over, but SOS can't kill him, and Pro's like, well, it's the freaking World Championship. I'm not going to leave this game if you can't kill me. Like, you're going to have to shoot my natural base in order for me to leave this one, buddy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this game is really bad. The third base is slightly delayed for SOS, but the gases for Probe are so freaking late. He's working off an extremely low Stalker count. He only has 8, which means he has a 4-4 split of Stalkers. Now, in order to 3-shot a Phoenix, you need 5 Stalkers, or 3-volley a Phoenix, you need 5 Stalkers. So if you have less than 10 Stalkers, the moment the Phoenixes fly in, they will just be able to empty their energy, and all of them will stay alive. Like, you need at least 10 Stalkers, and that's not the case here. So Probe kind of went for the gamble. He has only 3 Stalkers in the main base, and he has 5 in the natural, and then he prays to God that SOS isn't paying attention. But SOS just saw it with a hallucination. If he goes into the main base right now, Probe is just going to lose another 5-6 workers, and there's really nothing he can do about it.
Yeah. This is just, we have 44 workers, and we're gonna pray, huh? This is kind of nostalgic though, this kind of playstyle from Chrome. I remember back in the days when it was all about the 44 probe A move in PvP. Well, the 44 probes 2 batteries? Having fake batteries, like, oh my god dude, I'm totally defending. I'm even making batteries.
Yeah, I feel like SOS looks at that. He checks the worker count on the 30. He's like, those batteries are cute. It's like, that's nice. Like, that's a fourth base for me, you know? He just sees the potential that he gets and the freedom that he's getting. I mean, I understand what Probe is doing. So what Probe is doing is he wants to bait SOS into an attack. And then kind of hopes that he can win with a counter-attack. He already has the Prism ready, he's not building any workers, and he actually has a decently sized army. So in a defensive capability, perhaps he could actually hold. But the thing is that SOS is like, well, I saw your workers, I killed 25 workers total this game. I think rather than attacking into your 39 worker 3 base, I think I might just actually stay at home because I'm about doubling your income. Like, this is not rocket science here for SOS. And his army just looks way stronger. Like, it's just way stronger.
Yeah, and the 4 Immortals are just so spooky. If it was just that, maybe there'd be hope, but SOS is just so goddamn rich. We're gonna start the fights. Guardian Shield is activated. We're not even fighting in the batteries now as SOS. Some pickup micro, that's very nice. The beginning of the fight not looking so bad for Pro, but after we cleaned up all of the Zealots, like all of the powerful units that's still alive, and these are the units that SOS wanted to keep alive, and it did.
Yeah, he didn't even send back the Phoenixes, by the way. That fight was actually poorly done by SOS initially. He missed an Archon pickup, his movement was pretty mediocre, but it's absolutely not going to matter. SOS knows it, Probe knows it,